Hello, everyone. Welcome to Laser Tech Tuesdays at 2. I'm Jake Hottrell. I'm the Global Marketing Communications Manager here at Laser Tech. And every Tuesday around 2 p.m. Mountain Time, we go live and discuss solutions in traffic safety and professional measurement. You can join us on your coffee break. We're live for about 15 minutes. We love hearing what you think. So if you comment on this video, we'll answer it either in real time or as the subject of another Facebook Live. So put your questions, put your comments in. We love to see those. Today I'm talking with John Budden, who is part of our Industrial Sensors division. So John, I really appreciate you joining me today.
Not a problem.
Now I know you've worn a couple of different hats at Laser Tech. How long have you been with LTI?
Well, I've been at the LTI for over about 8.5 years now. I was hired as a service manager, and then I worked my way into the field application field.
Okay. So what would your current responsibilities be? Like, what is your title currently?
Well, I am a field application engineer, and my current responsibility is right now, currently, is the support of sensors and installation, problem solving, and also I'm part of the development of new sensor technology.
Right. Well, you do a little bit of everything, don't you?
Just a little bit.
So industrial sensors is a different type of division for us with professional measurement and with traffic safety. We have fully developed products. But with sensors, it's a little bit different. Can you tell me more about that?
Well, the thing is the sensors, the difference of it is the fact that the sensors are so flexible that they can provide solutions in many different industries. You know, in sensor technology, it's not like an end user product. A lot of times, what the sensors have to integrate to a system like a computer system or a PLC type device in order that for control, monitoring and management.
Okay, so well, let's focus on one specific sensor today then. We have something called the S300 and the S330. How did this particular sensor come about and what does it measure?
Basically, the S300 series sensors are a spin-off of what we would consider a hard target sensor. The 300 sensor actually goes to a liquid target surface, so it's really focused down on just a specific target, which is a liquid. In most applications, it would be water. But you can use any kind of a liquid surface that could measure down to.
Okay. Now, what makes fluid level measurement challenging or different from a solid target?
Well, what the claim to fame of laser technology and their laser measurement is they can take any kind of a reflective target, and be able to measure to it. So it could be highly reflective or low reflective, and we can still get accurate measurements to it. In most of our divisions, that's what we utilize. With a liquid surface, it's a lot different because the surface is, if you can imagine, it's a bendable mirror. So as the water sloshes around and all that, the target can vary its reflectivity. And so because of that, we had to develop new algorithms in order to account for that type of reflection.
Okay, so do we measure opaque liquids only or slurries, or can we do transparency?
Well, the benefit of the way what we're leveraging in this level measurement system is we're measuring the boundary separation of air to liquid. So it's irrelevant what the color of the liquid is. It could be completely clear, it could be completely opaque, and yet we can still measure that surface.
So do you only measure still surfaces, or how turbulent can we make a surface before, can we go turbulent?
Actually, what's really neat about our sensor is with the algorithm, we have settings that you can actually set into the sensor in order to do very calm surfaces to very turbulent surfaces. So that's the advantage of the laser technology or the S300 series, is the fact that it can deal with, situations where it can be calm and turbulent at any given time.
That is a benefit. Is it easy to program then?
Yes. Basically, there's one command setting that if you're an integrator, you only deal with one command setting, and it has 4 different parameters. to it, which makes it simple. If you're using it in an industrial situation, like the S330 you mentioned earlier, is using the 420 communication loop. Basically, that one would integrate directly into a PLC.
Okay.
And because of that, in that integration, we actually have a GUI tool that you can hook up to the sensor that guides you right through step by step on how to set the sensor up to your application.
I bet that's very handy. Because I know a lot of people like to have some kind of interface and not necessarily command line programming. So can you tell me what industries would benefit from a sensor like this?
Probably, any industry that, where you want non-contact sensing is probably the biggest benefit. But, currently where we're really focusing our attention on right now is water, wastewater management and all that. What's really neat about a sensor is that sensor is actually put at the top of the tank looking down. And typically, especially the wastewater industry, it's probably, if you have to go anywhere, the top of the tank is probably the best place to be. For installation or maintenance or anything like that. So it's very effective that way. It's very easy to install, and if maintenance, is very little maintenance required on these sensors. But if you need to go in, you're in a place where a human being would rather be.
You don't have to drain the tank either, and
Correct.
You don't have to clean it out, which is I think a benefit to the humans who have to do that. We have a couple of beta test sites that have allowed us to install sensors so that we can test different things with them and learn and make even better sensors for them. Can you talk a little bit about the beta sites or how people can use a demonstration program?
Yes, the beta sites that we did, it was early on in development and all that. It was just a proof concept and things like this. But overall, the beta sites, it was, we went into where it was failing sensor technology, and we were able to go in and make simple brackets, put it at the top of the vessels, and have, like, for example, the city of Pueblo, we were able to get them up and running in less than 2 hours and all that without having to worry about doing any kind of mitigation to their tank or anything like that. It was a bracket that was simply clamped onto a bracket at the top of the tank. Both these beta sites, actually, that you're talking about, should be available on our website. We have white papers written if you want more detail on that.
Right. If someone wanted to try out a sensor to see if it works in their situation for measurement, who would they contact for that?
We actually have a site program or a test site program going on, and you can, or a demo program, I guess it would be Mike Stiffen, which is our inside sales for sensors and all that. And he would send you a simple form to fill out and all that. So it'd be it's relatively easy, but we would evaluate the situation and all that, and make sure the sensor would work in that application.
Right. If someone had an idea of a new type of application that they need non-contact sensors for, would they contact us for that as well? Are you always looking for new ideas?
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing that, what we found is when we think we got everything covered, somebody else comes up with a new idea. All that.
That makes it exciting.
Yep. So, not a problem.
All right. So, as we're wrapping up, I tend to save the most interesting question for last. So, you just told me that you've spent a nice holiday up at your mountain home. What's your favorite holiday dish that you enjoyed while you were there?
I'm into things that happen around LPI. People like to smoke. So I smoked a brisket, a 12-pound brisket, for about 8 hours. And it just fell right, it would just melt in your mouth. It was just great. So that's probably the best thing about there, because the smoker's not down in Denver. It's up in the South Park, up in the mountains.
Well, that sounds fun. Yeah, my brother recently got a smoker, and he's been really enjoying working with that as well. So I might have to get on the trend.
If you go, you'll never come back.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to join me on the live broadcast today. Can you think of anything else that we may have forgotten to talk about?
There's a tons of things that we could talk about, but probably the one thing that, especially for the technical audience and all that, is there's two main interfaces that we connect to in the PLC market, or, where we communicate into different industries, and that's the SDI 12 communication protocol, and also the 420, which we mentioned earlier.
Okay. Do you have other frequently asked questions that you encounter when you're providing support? A lot of, the frequently asked questions is foam. We can't see through foam. Steam. We can't see through dead steam. If you cannot see the surface of the water, you basically, the sensor could probably have problems with it. The other thing is probably the most frequently asked questions is setup. And that setup is, the only thing you got to make sure on the sensor is it's pointing straight down at the water. You can't be at an angle. Other than that, that's it. It's amazing how easy these things work for installation. Right, that's pretty good. I think things that are easy to do and easy to interface with definitely get better mileage. As you said, it doesn't need maintenance nearly as much as some of the other contact sensors do, so that makes it easier on everyone.
Correct.
All right, well, I want to thank everyone who has joined us for the Facebook Live today. If you want to be alerted for upcoming Tuesday at 2 events, click the like button and follow LaserTech's page. We will see you next week on January 12th. So until then, measure smart and measure safely. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.